Legend Arcanine.
Yo, welcome to Check It Out, the only show on the internet where a short, pale, white kid tells you how to play a children's card game. I hope you guys are ready, because today I have a treat for you. Today on Check It Out, we're going to be talking about some of the most powerful tech cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! The HandTrap. You know them, you love them, maybe you don't know them, I don't know. So first we're going to go over, what is a HandTrap? Well, a HandTrap is usually a monster card that has an effect that activates from the hand to stop your opponent from doing something or is reactive in some sort of way. Now, there are so many fucking HandTraps that I could not go over them all in a 10-minute video, so I just picked out 4, not in really any specific order. Like, these aren't the best 4 or whatever. This is just going to be part 1. I'm probably going to have 2 to 3 parts in this series because, I mean, there are so many HandTraps to, there's just so many HandTraps, you know, I mean, so, this is probably going to be a 2 or 3 parter. I may not do them in order, but, let's jump right into it. So, the first card I have for you today is Effect Veiler. This is actually the first HandTrap that I ever was introduced to, mechanic-wise, when I got back into the game. I thought it was really cool. So, alright, let's go ahead. It's a level 1 light spellcaster effect tuner monster. Now, it's kind of important that it's a tuner. It can be used, you know, it's more useful than just being a HandTrap. You can also synchro with it if you don't need it. So, let's go ahead and read that effect. During your opponent's main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. Semicolon, negate that opponent's monster's face-up effect until the end of the turn. In parentheses, this is a quick effect. Okay, so while Effect Veiler does target, and we've talked about on the show again that, yes, that is a weakness of cards, that, you know, some monsters are just immune to being targeted. However, Effect Veiler is very powerful. Not only does it just completely shut down an opponent's monster's effect, it's also a quick effect. So, let's take this in the case of a Relinquish deck, for example, because I have a deck profile on my channel, link down below. So, with Relinquished, if someone Veilers your Relinquish in the battle phase, someone, say you have a 3000 Relinquish, and they're swinging into you with a, I don't fucking know, a Blue Eyes. So, you're just gonna, the Blue Eyes is gonna die, and you're gonna be fine because you have your material. If they Veiler you as they go to attack, your effect stops working. You lose your material, you become a 0/0 with no effect, and they just run over you. Veiler has a lot of uses. This thing can shut down your opponent's big boss monster's effect. It can stop your opponent from comboing off. It can straight up stop Zodiac plays. I mean, Effect Veiler, while it has been a bit power creeped, because again, the targeting thing, and another card on this list is a bit more powerful than it, Veiler should definitely not be underestimated as a good tech card. So if you're having trouble in your local meta with monster effects, I definitely suggest splashing a Veiler or 2 into your deck. And remember, if you are running a synchro deck, it's not even that bad of a card. A level 1 light synchro monster, or tuner monster, isn't terrible. Yeah, its stats are, well, non-existent, if we're being frank, but it's still there for synchro plays if you just need something, like, you know, you get into the grind, it's like turn 4 or 5, and both of you have exhausted your resources, and you still have this in hand. Hey, there you go. The next card we're going to talk about is actually the opposite. It is Battle Fader. It is a level 1 Dark Fiend effect monster with 0 attack and 0 defense. This card's pretty fun. While I don't think it's as powerful as Effect Veiler, it's still very good. So its effect is, when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, then end the battle phase. If this card is special summoned with this effect, banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, so a couple of things that kind of hinder this card a little bit. Your opponent has to be making a direct attack. While bonus, it doesn't target anything, so the effect is still going to go off. But your opponent has to be declaring a direct attack. So, I mean, in a deck that's reactive, like Relinquish, again, if you have to wait for your opponent to make a play, and you have to kind of give up a turn of board presence, this is a pretty good card. It stops your opponent from OTKing you. It lets them get a nice fat board stuck up, so you can, let them feel comfortable. You battle fader them, and you go into your turn, you kaiju one of their monsters, you throw Relinquish down, you absorb another monster, This card's good. It also has plenty of applications in meta decks, that are actually meta relevant. I do know some Zoo players that run this card. I don't know if True King Dracos would ever consider running this card. I'm pretty sure they just run Veiler, or the next card we're going to talk about. But as far as hand traps go, this is one of the weaker ones, and it's still very good. Hand traps are very good. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but hand traps are usually amazing. And with this thing being a dark theme type, this is a Lord of Darkness bait, so if you have this card and it's taking up space, and you have a Lord of Darkness, you can pitch this thing without having to worry about just, pitching your whole hand. It just works with it has a lot of synergy with, dark heavy decks and stuff. Chaos variants, this thing's dark, so it's obviously Chaos bait if you're running, BLS Envoy at the beginning or something. I don't know why you would be, but people are doing it. Yeah, definitely Battle Fader, great card. Next up is one of my favorite cards, my Yugi Man waifu here, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So, I fucking love this card, I'm not gonna lie. I bought 3 of the Kaiba Big Box 10s just because she was one of the feature cards in it. So I have 3 super rare Ghost Ogre, or ultra rare. It's the one where the text and the picture are both a nice holographic. She's fucking incredible, though. This card is very, very powerful, especially in today's meta. It's very, very powerful. So, it is a light level 3 psychic tuner effect monster with 0 attack and surprisingly 1800 defense. A lot of hand traps will have either 0/0 or 300, 200. Ghost Ogre has a pretty fat booty with 1800. For a level 3, that's decent. You're gonna get run over by any rank 4 or higher, or, level 5 or higher, but, yeah, she can take a hit to an extent. For a level 3, she's also a tuner, which I've already talked about being super awesome, especially for your hand traps. Having hand traps that are tuners are great, because that gives them even more versatility. Now on to the effect, though, and this is why I love her so much. During either player's turn, when a monster on the field activates its effect, or when a spell or trap card that is already face up on the field activates its effect, you can send this card from your hand or your side of the field to the graveyard, destroy that card on the field. You can only use this effect of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit once per turn. Okay, so rundown. It says during either player's turn, which makes it a quick effect. The only problem with Ghost Ogre is that the monster and or spell or trap already has to be face up on the field. So if someone activates a quick play spell, you can't counter it. But field spells, which are some of the most powerful spell cards that we have now, this negates. I know True Dracos run a lot of continuous spell cards. This will shut down their ability, or those spell cards' abilities. It's a really good card. You mainly want to use it for monster effects, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of the better effect Veiler, if we're being honest with ourselves. Because, okay, while it doesn't say it negates the effect, you are basically taking whatever card activated that effect and getting rid of it. So, it's, the thing with it is most cards, especially monsters that activate effects, want to stay around. They want to activate that effect to benefit the monster, build the monster up, or search out something else. They don't want to get rid of the monster. So, when you activate this, you're essentially making them neg themselves to activate that effect. You're saying, okay, on top of the cost of activating that effect, you're also gonna have to get rid of that monster, that spell, that trap card that did it for you. Which a lot of people aren't willing to do. So taking that option away from them is powerful. Very, very powerful. While it does have a hard once per turn, it says you can only use this effect of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit once per turn. So even if you have 3 Ghost Ogres in hand, you can only activate one of them at a time. It's still a very powerful card. People underestimate this card. I know people who won't run this card because, you know, they're like, oh, but it has to be face up, it's never going to be useful. This card shuts down plays. Like, as a tech card, I think it's a very powerful choice. And I implore you, I don't even think they're very expensive. I think they're like $3-4 a copy. Please, if you're really serious about getting into Yu-Gi-Oh!, pick a couple of copies of her up. You're gonna want them for deck building, especially with the new Link format coming out. A card like this, that can shut down effects of trap spells and monsters, is gonna be super versatile at a time where nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, because they're all using new cards and shit. You're gonna want this. I suggest you go pick a couple of copies up before they spike in price, because I'm calling it right now. This card's gonna spike once Link format hits. It's gonna spike by at least a couple of dollars. So, moving on to our last card on the list, and I put it on this list. Usually I do 3 cards at a show, but son of a bitch, I would've get so much shit if I didn't mention this goddamn card. Maxi! Fuck this card. Yeah, I know, it's fucking awesome. This card's amazing. Let me go ahead and tell you what it is. It's an Earth Level 2 Insect Effect monster with 500 attack and 200 defense. You're probably wondering, why is this at 1 if you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh? If you do play Yu-Gi-Oh, you know damn well why it's at 1. During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, semicolon, this turn, each time your opponent special summons a monster, immediately draw a card. You can only use 1 Maxi per turn. Okay, fucking goddamn it, Konami, what were you thinking? Like, this card gives me a migraine for so many reasons. Okay. So for those of you who haven't been into the meta recently, who don't play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe you play GOAT format with your friends or whatever, this card's kind of broken, mainly because of the amount of special summons that a deck will usually perform per turn. So with something like, again, Relinquish, because it's the only real deck profile I have on my channel, this isn't going to be too good. You're going to get like 2 or 3 cards, which is still fucking amazing, by the way. Pot of Greed's banned, and that lets you +1. You picked 1 card, you draw 2, you're +1. This thing, even going up against like a Relinquish deck, is a +2 sometimes. But son of a bitch, if you get this off, if you Maxi against a really special summon heavy deck like Red Eyes or Zodiac for God's sake, holy shit, you're gonna be drawing like 8 or 9 cards. So, for those of you not in the know, this card has a quote-unquote challenge associated with it. That being, if I have Maxi in my hand, and you start to look like you're about to go off, I'm going to issue you the Maxi challenge. Which is, I play Maxi, you go the fuck off, and if you can't kill me, I'm gonna kick your ass, because I just drew 18 fucking cards. This card's fucking broken. I'm sure people were expecting me to sing this thing's praises or whatever. I honestly think this card would be better just not in the game at all, which isn't an unpopular opinion, but excuse me, I think this thing gave me fucking cancer. It's an unpopular opinion, but it's mine to have. Fuck this card. honestly, it turns what could have been like a 6 or 7 turn game into a 3 turn game. It says, okay, you can go off, you can set your board, but next turn the game's over because I have way too much advantage. This card just allows for so much gain in 1 turn, and that's why I think, personally, I wouldn't be sad to see it go, but I run it in every single deck that I've made, so there's that. I mean, I may hate this card, but it's stupid not to run it. Like, you know, why would you not run something that could potentially net you so many cards? Like, yeah, I'm not being hypocritical. I think the card should be banned, but if it's in the format, I'm definitely not gonna run it. Anyway, guys, that was the fucking show. I hope you like this, because there's gonna be 2 or 3 more episodes strictly on hand traps. This is just a little introduction. I picked these 4 cards because they're really the basic hand traps that you think of. Well, these 3 are. Effective Aor, Battle Fader, and Max C are the basic hand traps that most people think of when they hear the word hand trap. I put Snow Girl on here because she is my Yu-Gi-Oh! Waifu, and she's my favorite tech card in the fucking world besides Book of Moon, so yeah, that's why I picked these cards. Next time, we're probably gonna go over some more obscure hand traps, because that's the main point of the series, is to, you know, show you guys tech cards that you may not know. I know episode 1 was super generic, but hey, you gotta dip your feet in the water sometime, right? Anyway, this has been Legend Conductor, and this has been the most underrated show on the internet. Voted 4th worst, actually, on the internet, so very underrated. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Please give it a, whatever YouTube is doing now, a thumbs up? Are we doing thumbs up now, YouTube? Give it a thumbs up if you like it. I've been Legend Conductor,